Hey, what's going on? Welcome to this video. My name is Alif, and in this video, I'll be breaking down to you how I made $7,200 in 1 month with my freelance marketing business. You see, it's a funny thing. A while back, I made a post on LinkedIn, and it was about how I made $6,700 that month. And I got this DM. I'll show it on the screen right now. And I remember in the DM, it said, can you show me how do I do it, how I make money as well? Because honestly, I'm in a lot of debt right now and it's choking the life out of me. And I thought to myself reading that, like, wait, why am I posting like a big post about, oh, look at how much money I'm making? And instead of making that post about like, oh, look how great I am, why not make a video breaking down exactly how I made that money? And so here's the video, all right? So again, that $6,700, after I made the post, I made a few sales and therefore it got up to $7,200. Now, I'm not saying I know all the magic, like I'm still learning a lot of this myself. I'm not even near the 10K a month level or anything of that nature, right? So there's probably someone watching this and they're like, oh my God, this is nothing because I've made so much more money than you have, Alif, so boo you, right? And you're probably thinking that, who cares? This is not for you. If you are, making a grand, $2,000 a month with your freelance marketing business, then this is actually the video for you specifically. All right, so in total, to make $7,200, I took on 5 projects with 5 different clients that helped me to make this much. And specifically in this video, I'll be going over who each client was, the service I offered each client, how I landed them as a client, and my biggest takeaway that I've personally learned from making this much money through my freelance marketing business. All right, so client number 1 was a marketer, and they basically reached out to me because they've been following me on LinkedIn for a while, and they reached out and they were like, hey, listen, I need to start making money on the side because my job has gone to shit and like everything else is kind of like really bad right now, and I think it's smart for me to learn how to make other sources of income. Alif, can you teach me how to get clients and stuff for my freelance marketing business? I noticed, your success and I just want to replicate your process. And that essentially was client number 1. They reached out to me on LinkedIn and I offered them 4 coaching calls, about 1 hour each, and the ultimate goal with this coaching program I put together for them is to help them generate leads for their freelance marketing business. They're a marketer, so they wanted to, use that skill set to make money on the side. So 4 coaching calls, 4, I'll write 4 here, and for this client, I charged them, drum roll please, 1,100, okay? So is that 1,100? Yeah, there we go. So 4 hours coach calls for 1,100, and the biggest thing I learned from this client is this person's been following me on LinkedIn for a while, and finally they decided to reach out to me because they kept seeing my LinkedIn posts and all that, right? And because I was top of mind for them, they finally decided they wanted to reach out to me, and that was really interesting. So it was essentially an inbound lead converted into a sale. All right, client number 2. This was a career coach, and they specialize in helping people find their purpose throughout their career. And this is actually a personal mentor of mine. By the way, I'm not going to reveal their names or anything because I never really asked them if I can use their names for this video. But the client number 2 was a mentor of mine I've known for a while, back when I used to work in my HR job and I wanted to become a career coach. So their contact of mine, I've known them for a while, and they were like, hey, Alif, how much will you charge for some YouTube stuff? And I was like, well, it really depends because a lot of my packages and what I offer is very like specialized to what you need, right? So you tell me what you need and I'll tell you how much I charge. So we got on a call and everything, and he wanted help to do some YouTube stuff and, basically edit a couple of videos. I think it was like, yeah, edit 4 videos and then 1 coaching call to walk him through YouTube SEO strategy. So basically 4 videos and then 1 coaching call, right? So 4 videos, 1 coaching call. By the way, I don't know if you can even read this. A lot of YouTubers I see on YouTube, they have a whiteboard, so I'm like, hey, this looks kind of cool. Let me try it out. That's why I got this shit, man. All right, client number 2, again, career coach, 4 videos, one coaching call, YouTube coaching, and I charged them $14.65 Canadian, okay? So $14.65 Canadian for client number 2. Again, this client was someone I've been connected with for a while. They've been noticing a lot of my content I've been posting on LinkedIn, and because of that, they wanted to reach out. Oh my gosh, another inbound lead, which is very interesting. All right, so that's client number 2. Let's go into client number 3. All right, so client number 3 was actually a returning client of mine. This is a client I've worked with for a long time, and they're also a career coach, and they specialize in helping social work grads and people in the social work space find their dream job. That was their expertise, right? So career coach in the social work niche, and they hired me to do 2 specific projects. One was building a free email course, basically a course, like a series of emails that we packaged as a course, a free course to generate leads for her business, right? So an email funnel, let's call it email funnel. And she also hired me to repurpose a lot of her interviews as podcast episodes. So basically I do like a lot of podcast work for her, right? So 2 projects, and in total, let me write this down. So email, I'll write E, and then P for podcasts. This is turning a huge mess. I don't know how these freaking YouTubers even do a whiteboard. Like, look at this mess. What the hell? Anyways, I billed her for the email funnel project and the podcasting project, and I charged her $2,100 in total. All right, so $2,100 for client number 3. Again, email funnels and podcasting, great. So you can see client number 1 so far, $1,100. Client number 2, $1,465, and client number 3 is $2,100. And now I'm running out of space, so I don't know what to do. I'll write them right here, okay? How do these YouTubers do it, man? Like, how you do? All right, so client number 4, this client was also a social worker, but they don't do career coaching like my other client. They're more of a thought leader. They have a book, they do like speaking and podcast guesting and things of that nature, right? So thought leadership content. And they wanted to launch their very first ever podcast. And it's funny, this client was this client's mentor. And because I did podcasting work with this client, they referred me to this client because they wanted to launch their podcast. And they were like, hey, who do you use for podcasting? And they're like, oh, Alif, let me connect you, right? So that's client number 4. And specifically for them, I helped them launch the podcast plus create some episodes, right? Create a few episodes for her podcast because she would go on Zoom calls, interview people, and I would take those recordings and upload them for her podcast, and then obviously help her launch it. So the cover art, description, the intros, all that stuff, I basically took care of. And for this client, I charged this client $2,350 for this work, right? Okay, so client number 4, $2,350. Again, $1,100, $1,465, $2,100, and $2,350, right? So that's about 4 clients right now. And then on my 5th client, basically for this, I came from York University, represent here in Ontario. If you're from York, let me know on LinkedIn, message me on LinkedIn. But basically I do like these resume workshops for York University, specifically a student club. And one day the professor was like, hey Alif, you've been doing a lot of these speaking gigs and resume workshops, let me pay you this time. And I'm like, okay, cool. And she's like, great, 45-minute presentation, I'll give you $200. How does it sound? And I'm like, sure, why not, right? I was gonna do it for free anyway. So that was a nice quick $200. And the great part is that I repurposed an old presentation, so I didn't really need to do much work except jump on the Zoom call and then teach their students, which is pretty fun. And I love helping students and things of that nature, right? So it was really cute. It was really nice, right? So client number 5 was $200. So you can see, let's add them all up. Client number 1, $1,100. Number 2, $1,465. Number 3, $2,100. Number 4, $2,350. And number 5, $200. So given all this stuff, right? Everything I just kind of broke down for you, and I told you a little bit about how I got each of the clients. What is my biggest learning that I essentially learned? A couple of things. First, I realized content is everything. If you're not posting content, that means you're not top of mind for potential prospects and clients, right? And because of the content I've been posting, they finally wanted to reach out to me. And therefore, I didn't have to do an outbound sales approach. Rather, they just kind of come to me. So if you're not posting content right now, post content. That's how you do it in 2022, right? Like, that's it. You gotta do it. You gotta do this stuff, right? Second, I realized like your network is really your network. Like, I started really feeling this because all these clients that I described in this whiteboard, they're all like people I've known, right? It's my who I knew dictated how much money I got, right? Once I understood this concept, I realized, man, I gotta double down on just building more network, more people, and going deep with each of the relationships so eventually they can hire me for more projects, right? So your network is key and your content is key because the content keeps them top of mind. Now, this is really interesting because I made a video a while back on my YouTube channel how I made my first $5,000 as a content marketer, right? Content marketing freelancer, right? And in that video, I walk you guys through like how I got the sales. And generally in that video, the way I made the sales was outbound, meaning I reached out to them. I did the voicemails, voice notes. I did the cold messages. I went out. I said, hey, I offer this. Do you want to buy this, right? That's how I made my first 5,000. Now I made record of 7,200, but this time a lot of these leads, they're actually not outbound. They're actually more inbound. And this taught me a couple things. Before, to make the 5K a month, I did the outbound stuff, reach out. But now to make the 7,200, it was inbound. They kind of came up to me, right? And I think this goes to show like the stages of business, right? Like let's say you have a business, right? This is when you first start over here at the end. I'll make it bigger over here at the end. And over here is like your ultimate long-term success. And at the first part of your business, you're gonna have to really rely on outbound, right? Out here. Meaning you have to really reach out to people to make that sort of money, okay? And that's essentially how you're gonna survive during the first bit of your business, first stage of your business, let's say. And then over here, you come to this point where if you deliver high enough quality service, right? QS, quality of service, and you over deliver on everything, you go above and beyond, and you give it literally all your best with the clients you receive from your outbound, essentially all those outbound, especially if you're a freelance marketer, it'll turn into referrals, right? Referrals, so R's. People who you know are generally going to refer you to other people. And now your business went from an outbound approach to get leads to now more of an inbound approach, meaning you're no more reaching out to prove yourself. You already proved yourself, therefore people want to come to you. And I think right now with my business and what I'm doing right now, I'm at this stage where I don't necessarily always need to rely on outbound. I already have enough projects in place to the point where I feel like, I can be picky with who I go with, and I can be picky with my rates and charge much higher than like a $100 project or something of that nature, right? So I feel like this is the stage I'm at. I feel like since I'm right here right now, there's a whole nother world above me that I'm slowly starting to like get more into. This is when I think we go more into hiring, and outsourcing and things of that nature. Right now, based off like the recording of this video, I'm more doing it myself type of thing, right? Like laptop lifestyle type of, you hire me, you get me, and I do the work for you. Eventually, I want to go to like an agency model where I hire the other people to do the work for me, and I become more of like the salesperson, the CEO, whatever you might call it. I hope this video made sense to you. I hope this added some value. If you have any questions about like freelance marketing, getting clients, or doing whatever, making money online, shoot me a message on LinkedIn. I'll leave a link to it down below in the description. And with that being said, if you like marketing tips, tactics, freelance marketing stuff, career advice, and just general micro vlogs about me and my life, be sure to subscribe to this channel, follow me on social media, and I will see you, my friend, in the next video. Peace up, peace up, peace up.